Hey, resilient champions, you are so welcome. Good morning to you all. It is a pleasure, always a pleasure to have you in our live stream. I couldn't go live yesterday because of internet connections. I had some technical issues, so thank you for your patience and your understanding. It's always a pleasure to have you, and I am so blessed to have a dedicated community that is always having my back. So thank you so much for tuning in for today's topic. We are going to talk about how the weather affects our productivity. And we are going to answer the question, does the weather influence our productivity? So we are going to have to discuss together, share together, and it will be a pleasure. I'm trying to do this early morning because, hi Jaden, good morning. I'm trying to do this early morning because we have, hey, farm Aaron Day. I am doing this early morning because I have a lot of holiday makers here, so there's a lot of noise. Now they are still sleeping, and that's why I'm coming so early. I want to try how it is to come so early. So I will see how this works, and I really pray that it really works because if not, the noise is always really, really a lot. Aaron B, thank you so much for being here. It's a pleasure. Thank you for the love and support. Yes, it's 6 a.m. here. It's 6 a.m. where I am. What are you guys doing up so early? But it's a pleasure to have you. So thank you so much. I really appreciate that you can come and support me despite the fact that it's so early. It's crazy. But I really want to try and see how it works because sometimes you just don't give up. You try to see what works at the moment. You try to adapt, adjust, and you continue to serve the people you're called to serve. Hey, I you see, there are so many early birds in the house. My Renaissance grandma, good morning. I know that sometimes you think that people sleeping very early, but there are so many people who get up early. Hi, Mocha. I am so blessed to have you. Thank you so much. It's a great, great pleasure to have you all. I am so happy. Thank you for the thumbs up as you come in. Yesterday, this live was supposed to be yesterday at 11 a.m. It was going to be noisy. Also, I had a lot of connection issues, so I couldn't go because the internet was going on and off every other minute. So here we are today, and we are going to share about, does the weather influence our productivity? And yes, the answer is yes, because the studies have shown that extreme temperatures, whether too hot or too cold, can decrease our ability to concentrate and perform tasks efficiently. Also, the studies also show that rainy days or cloudy weather can also affect our mood and energy level, leading to decreased motivation. But also, during those rainy days, it can be time for us to increase our focus and creativity. So you become more creative when you are challenged. And that's the interest of this discussion today. When I picked the topic, I was like, it's summer, everybody is so happy and everybody is outgoing, and people are really just so active. And that's why I wanted us to share our experiences on whether it's whether the weather affects our productivity. Hey Yaya, hi Queen, good morning. I don't know if you're going out for your work, but thank you for stopping by. It's a pleasure to have you. My regards to Tim, and it's always a pleasure to know that you are doing fine and that you are taking your wellness to another level. And thank you for motivating us all, because the more we see you do it, the more we are tempted and inspired to also start our own journeys and to stay consistent, because you are one example of some consistency. So we are going to really like share, really, um sharing how, what's your experience. Does the weather affect your productivity? Which of the seasons are you more productive? Which ones do you like? But we also have heard that it is important to be aware of how the weather can affect our productivity and make adjustments. What is life? Making adjustments to our work environment and our routine. So life is all about making adjustments. It's never a smooth sail. We have to adapt to the weather, we have to adjust to the circumstances. So each time we are making adjustments, adapting, and that's how it goes. If you want a productive life, if you want a life that will give you the things that you need, you have to adapt, adjust, and always looking at what is the next best step for you to take. So there is proof to answer our question: does the weather influence our productivity? Does the weather have an impact on our productivity? Yes, there is scientific proof, because studies have been carried out that the weather can have a significant impact on our productivity. But it depends on the type of business, the type of activity, and the location. So it depends on the type of business, the type of activity, and the type of location. Hey, Quincy's, thank you so much. I am so grateful, Quincy's. On my way out the door, but wanted to say hi. Peace, life, and blessings. Thank you so much, Auntie Ellen. I greatly appreciate your love and support. Have a beautiful day and really enjoy the summer. So I am so grateful to every one of you who is always supporting and always being there. And then when I was doing the thumbnail, I said the science of productivity. But because when we hear something about the science, and thank you everyone for your thumbs up. Don't forget the thumbs up as you go out. Thank you so much, Auntie Helen. I greatly appreciate and love you. So when you hear that the science of productivity is not something like some rocket science, no. The science of productivity is a field of study where experts seek to understand and improve. They want to understand and improve human performance in various tasks and activities. So the science of productivity is just the study of the human performance, how people perform. And in this case, we are asking, how do people perform in the different seasons? And it's just a way of reminding us that if some seasons you are not very productive, it is okay. It is okay not to be very productive in some seasons, or it is okay not to be as productive at the same level in all the seasons. Thank you so much. Play grade 5. Good afternoon. It is morning. Thank you so much. And you see, that's the beauty of the global community, because people are in different places. We are at 6 a.m. here, and like I said, I'm doing this very early because I have a lot of holiday makers. I'm in my sister's house, a lot of holiday makers, and it's so noisy. So I decided to come and do it now that they are still sleeping. Yes, R&B say it does this time of year due to the heat. I'm very productive unless I go outside. It's only going to reach 110 degrees. I feel the most productive in the fall. Absolutely. And it's so important to know your season of productivity in the activity where you are in, because it depends on what activity are you doing. And so you adjust and adapt. So for R&B, she's more productive in fall, and so she understands that if in summer the extreme heat does make her not to be very productive, it is okay, because she knows that Our season of productivity is in the fall. But also we have like the air conditioning, we can dress accordingly, and we can always adapt and adjust. So everyone's greeting everyone. Thank you so much for the thumbs up and for sharing the live stream and for sharing your ideas and all of the experiences that help us to grow together. So when we talk about the science of productivity, we are talking about the studies or the studies that experts have carried out to help people to know how productive or their season of productivity and focus on the productive seasons and adapt to the season that they are not very productive, and most especially to understand that it is okay not to be productive in all seasons. Hey, my daughter, Niger daughter, you are so welcome. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you're doing fine. I hope my kids, grandkids are already on holidays. I don't know if you're already on holidays. I pray that you people are safe with all the problems that are going on in France. I pray that where you are not affected. I just pray, please, you guys stay safe. Everything is about safety. Thank you so much for coming. I'm doing an early live stream. It's 6 o'clock here, and I am trying to see how to be, like we say, we adapt and adjust according to the timing, according to the season, according to the weather, because we have to give in something at every time. So when we talk about this, excuse me, when we talk about the science of productivity, it is just exploring the factors that affect productivity, such as your motivation, your attention span, your focus, your time management. It involves a lot of things, but it's also just a reminder for you to know that there will be some seasons when you will be more productive than others, and then you can make your adjustments and try to see how to better navigate it. We are absolutely okay. Thanks. Yes, play. Yeah, I know. I know. That's why I'm doing an early live stream, because of the people who are playing. They are not yet up. They are not yet up. So thank you so much for your support and love. And we are going to, like we say, by understanding these factors, researchers and practitioners, that's people who research, the experts research, and those of us who use the seasons, like they call us practitioners, we are the actors, we are the ones who are acting during these seasons. We can develop strategies to enhance productivity and help us organize and achieve our goals efficiently. So we just want to know the impact of the weather on our productivity, so as to be able to organize ourselves to find strategies that work at every moment. Like, you see, R&B say they feel if they don't go outside, they are very productive during summer, but their best moment of productivity is in the fall. But what do they do in summer? It's not the best because of the heat, but so long as they don't go outside, so when they stay indoors, they can be very productive, which means they can strategize now and find activities that will keep them indoors. Really, the heat can really cause a lot of fatigue, and you can really have heat burn. A lot of people are really affected in so many different ways. And so we're just going to share some common strategies that you can use to stay productive at all seasons, because as content creators we are not going to stay without content for a whole season because we think that is not our season of productivity. We are always going to find creative ways to stay productive no matter the season, because we have to keep going, we have to stay consistent, and we have to stay in the process. And a lot of we can have a lot of strategies, but really some real common ones and workable ones, the ones that are really working, the ones that are really working, like when we let me put this away. Okay, so we are going to look for the strategies that are working and the ones that we can easily adapt and find our productivity level. And that's what we're going to be discussing in this live stream. And I will also be grateful if you share your own experiences. We are all about sharing here. So, one of the first things about productivity is setting smart goals. And setting goals is an important aspect of personal and professional growth because we have we have we have a lot of things to do, but we can't do all of them at the same time. And so when you're setting your goals and making them smart, which means you are finding specific, measurable, achievable, relevant things within the time limit, they will help you to clarify what you want to achieve, how you will measure your progress, and when you plan to achieve it. When this is, I have a video in the description below how to do your SMART goals, because we have a lot of we have a big dream and there are so many things that we want to do, but we can't do all of them at the same time because we will get overwhelmed and we will really not achieve results. And sometimes when you don't achieve the results, you get discouraged. To avoid being discouraged or overwhelmed, when you set your SMART goals, you are working on specific action steps and you can measure them, which means when you are measuring and you are seeing success, you are motivated to do more. Hi, Trish. Thank you so much. It's early morning. Thanks for listening and getting ready to work. Go to work. Thank you for the thumbs up and thank you for your love and support. I'm also thanking everyone in the chat and all of those who are coming to watch the replay. You are always appreciated and celebrated. So, setting smart goals is something that we already know, and we have a video in the description below this video that helps you to set your goals. Don't cough, they really worry me. Morning. No, I don't put advert. Okay, we are back on the screen and we are talking about the strategies that we can use to become more productive at all seasons, depending on how we adjust and adapt. And we started with setting smart goals. We are not going to delve into a lot into it because we have a whole video that helps us to show us how to set smart goals. The second strategy we'll talk about here is prioritization. And when we say how to prioritize, we are saying, we've said it several times, focus on your win. Because we have so many things that we want to do, we can't achieve all of them or we can't embark on all of them at the same time. So we have to look which ones are more pressing. And we always say focus on our win. And what's focus? Focus for us is follow one commitment until successful. It's an acronym. And our win is what's important now. And so when you have all of these things and this big goal that you have and this big dream that you have, it doesn't materialize in one day. It's a life journey. And so Every day you're doing bits and pieces to make the dream work. And how does the dream work? You prioritize. You don't get overwhelmed. You don't carry out everything at the same time. You prioritize. And how do you know which one is priority? What's important now? In all of these things that I want to do, what is the most important thing that if I do it now, it's going to help me to do other things or to grow or to become better? So to avoid being overwhelmed and really just giving up on yourself, because most often when we get overwhelmed means we have so many things to do at the same time. And when we are focused on so many things, we are dispersing our energy. And when when you disperse your energy, you really don't get as much result as when you focus, when you follow one commitment until you're successful. If it's something that you have to do, like if you're building a house, you have to start from the foundation and then you go up, and so you go step by step. So there's always, in all the many things that we are called to do, there's always something that is more important at that moment than the other things. And to know how to handle all of these, when you set your smart goals, it gives you clarity on what's important now. This is what I want to achieve by the middle of this year, or by the end of the year. We've already gone more than half the year. What's left for me to achieve before the end of the year? And then you prioritize. And how do you prioritize? You focus on your win. And focus, follow one commitment until successful. And what's your win? What's important now? Experts also recommend that for you to prioritize, you can follow the 80-20% rule, which means you identify 20% of the task that will give you 80% of the results that you want. Hey sis, good morning. Thank you so much for taking time to stop by. I greatly appreciate you. Thank you so much. I hope you're enjoying the summer. You know, the sunshine for us is a real luxury, and we have to enjoy it, because when the cold comes, oh girl, we are in for it. So experts say you can prioritize by looking identifying 20% of the task that will give you 80% of the results that you want, and do those ones first. And what are those things? What is the little thing that you can do now to push you to get closer to your goals? And that's 20% of the task, which means not 100%, not 50%, not like 80%. No, 20%. What is the 20% that you can do now to get 80% of your results? And they also recommend, experts, that you can schedule your day into specific times for each task, based on your priority, always based on your priority. And one of the also ways that you can prioritize your day is learning to say no. Don't take on tasks that aren't important or urgent. And they say focus on what's essential to achieve your goals. So don't embrace everybody's requests. Find the requests that help you to build your goals and focus on those ones. You can help out, but your focus is on you. And when we are talking focus on you, it doesn't mean that you have to neglect your community or your family, or others. Yes, play great, we got this, we really got this. It means you are focused, you are saying no to things that would cause trouble for you, because once you are in trouble, everybody around gets the collateral damage. That's why it's so important for you to just say no to the things that will would break you down, or to the things that are not important at that moment. Prioritize. So for the people who are coming in, we are talking about we set up to answer the question if the weather has an influence on our productivity, and we are saying yes, because there have been studies, scientific studies that have been carried out to show that extreme temperatures, whether too hot or too cold, can decrease our ability to concentrate and perform efficiently. But the study also says rainy or cloudy weather can also affect our mood and energy level, leading to decreased motivation. But it can also increase focus and creativity. So during those extreme cold weathers or rainy weathers, we are indoors, it can help us to increase creativity. But the study also says the sunny weather can be pleasant, it improves our mood and increases our motivation. But they also say extreme sun or extreme heat can cause fatigue. And the study just says overall, there's no hard and fast rule. It is important to be aware of how the weather can impact your productivity depending on the activity that you are engaged in and the location. In which business are you and in what location are you? Those are the things that will affect or that will determine or impact your productivity. And so all of those things we are trying now to see and share some strategies that you can adapt to be productive at all seasons. And the first one we said was to set your SMART goals. The second one, prioritize. Identify which goals are most important. What focus on your win. And now we are talking about accountability. Accountability with people. Share your goals with someone who with people in your community who have like minds, people with whom you're growing and building together. You, my community, I am so grateful to you, because alone I can't do it. I can't sit here and watch my videos by myself or discuss. We are sharing experiences. You are giving me your own experiences. I'm sharing mine, and together we are learning a lot of things. And that's why it's a good strategy, because together we go further. And so we are always finding creative ways to become more productive and to achieve more, because what is our aim? To attain our goals. And to attain our goals, we're always finding workable strategies that will help us to keep going. When you talk about accountability, it's not like you are, because some people like me, for example, I am more like I am more liable to show up when I know that there are people who are waiting on me. Like I had to do this live stream yesterday, when I had internet connection challenges, and I was like all the time, oh my god, I put up this thumbnail, and my community, they are waiting to for the live stream. I can't do it, and so I had to shift it to today and put it this early morning. But I know that I have to. If if I didn't know that I had a community to serve, I'll just give up on it and say, okay, it's not working, and so let's give up on the live stream. And so let's give up on the live stream. But when you are accountable, it helps you to be productive, because you have to stand up to your commitments. You have to stand up to your commitment, first to yourself, and then to the people you are called to serve, to your community. You have to be stand up to your commitment, to yourself, and to the people you are called to serve. Hey Queen, you are so welcome. April Showers, it's a pleasure to have you. I hope you're doing well this early morning. I don't know if it's still very early morning, but I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for your love and support. You are celebrated and appreciated. So everybody's talking to everybody. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. I really am always so grateful for my community, for your love, for your support, and for helping to build each other up. It is always a big pleasure. So all these strategies, we are just looking for creative ways to stay productive. Even if it's too sunny, if the heat is too much, we stay indoors and do the activities that we can do indoors. Even though there are some activities that you can't do them indoors, especially if you have to go to work, dress accordingly, depending on the weather, and really just make yourself comfortable to do the work that you are doing. And all of this is just to show that we want to stay consistent at all seasons. And so we are looking for all these creative ways to stay consistent at all seasons. One of the main things that can help us to stay productive, break down our goals into smaller, manageable tasks. That we are not going to just get up and think that we will finish everything in one day. Break larger goals into smaller, more manageable tasks, which allows us to track progress more easily. And this helps us to stay motivated, giving us a sense of accomplishment as you complete each task. So if you have your little task, like in your in your smart goals, you have a specific task that you want to accomplish every day. For example, if I like writing, and I put up a task, or I put up like a task to finish like 1,000 words a day. If I'm writing a book, which I'm doing, I pray that I can be able to finish it and publish it before it remains a manuscript forever. I like to write at least 1,000 words a day. And each time you write 1,000 words, like I have the the word the Google word count. It gives me the number of words that I have written every day. And when I see what I have written every day, I'm satisfied. It gives me a sense of accomplishment. It tells me you can do this book, you can finish this book, keep going. And like they say, I like when I feel accomplished and celebrated, it keeps me motivated. And that's how it keeps me more productive. I'm not going to tell you that I will sit in one day and write all the 60,000 words. No, I'm going 1,000 words a day. But not every day, because some days I'm not really motivated to write up to 1,000 words. But I don't give up on the fact that I have not written 1,000 words today. At least I will have 500 words. 500 words, they are not many, but at least it's something. And it shows that you're growing and you have completed your task. So when you are breaking down your goals into tasks, into manageable tasks, because you really want to avoid being overwhelmed. Like I'm telling you, when I am overwhelmed, the next thing is for me to give up. And to avoid overwhelm, I prefer to have those little manageable tasks. So I have my weekly target into my like monthly target, which have weekly goals, and then I have daily tasks. So that helps me to keep going. I'm not keeping everything to finish up at the same time. I'm going with manageable tasks, and that's keeping me staying away from overwhelm, and that motivates me to keep going. So when it comes to productivity also, time management is key. Time management is really so important. And sometimes they will tell you to chunk your time and all of for maximum productivity. And when you are chunking your time, we always insist on finding the priority. You putting your There are certain things that you can do in the morning, those that you can do in the afternoon, and those that you can do in the evening. There are things that you can do on Mondays, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So you are prioritizing your activities. So even as you break down your time, your work day, into like 25 minutes intervals, followed by short breaks, so that you not really really just get immersed, except you're doing some continuous activity that can take you hours to do. But if not, when you chunk your time into little intervals, it helps you to really like work, you rest, you stay focused, you avoid burnout, because you are not going to you don't want to overwork yourself. So you are scheduling your day into blocks of time for specific tasks, which helps you to prioritize and stay organized throughout the day. And sometimes we call it task batching, which means you group similar tasks together and complete them in one batch. So when you're chunking or breaking down your task, there are certain tasks that you can put together. For example, if I'm going to be writing, like doing research and then writing, I'm not going to be editing at the same time, but I am going to do related activities to writing. I'll chunk them together so that it can help me to stay focused, and it can help me to avoid distractions. Hey, Sugar Mama, you are so welcome. Thank you so much for all your love and support. Thank you, everyone, for the thumbs up, for your support, and for always being here. So, time management, we always say, is very, very important, because, like we say, time is one commodity that when it is gone, we cannot have it again. But this helps us to stay focused and to avoid distractions. And we also do our prioritization based on urgency and importance, which helps us to focus on the most important tasks. It's important to focus on the most important tasks and go from there to the so that by the time, like most often in the mornings, most people like really taking the more difficult tasks, so that by afternoon, when they are getting tired, they will have less tedious things to do, and that will keep you to stay productive. So when you are prioritizing, you have to also bear that in mind. And so whether the weather has an impact or an influence on our productivity, that's not a question again. We have said the answer is yes, because scientific studies have proven that yes, the weather has a significant impact on our productivity, but it depends on the type of business and activity and location. So, for example, what is the most productive season for entrepreneurs? Like most of us here are entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs. And so when they say the impact depends on the type of business and activity and location. If you are in Africa or in Asia, most often you don't have any problems with the winter, with the snow that will really like sometimes block you indoors. But whether or not, it is clear that there is no one size fits all to this question. There's no one answer, and we are insisting. It depends. The weather will have a significant impact on your productivity depending on the type of business you're doing the activity, and the location. And the most like if we are asking what's the most productive season for entrepreneurs, and we are saying it varies depending on the type of business and location. For example, a business that relies on tourism may be most productive during the summer months. Here in the north, or in the countries where you have the four seasons: summer, spring, no, summer, fall, winter, spring. But if you are in Africa where we have just two seasons, the rainy and the dry season, you also have to find strategies how to make your business operational during all these seasons. So, like in Africa, we have just the two seasons, the dry season and the rainy season. If you are in the tourism business during the rainy season in Africa, it's really difficult for you to have a lot of tourists coming in because one, the roads are really not practical, and then the rains are really, really torrential downpours that sometimes are really, they really cause floods, and so that's not the best time for your business to flourish. But you also have to find strategies to make your business work year round, even if some seasons will be more productive than others. If you're going to have a more productive summer than winter, you can also find activities and strategies to stay in business in winter, even if it's not at the same level as if you would stay in summer or other pleasant weather. And for example, if you're doing a small retail business, also you might see your sales during the highest during the holiday season, because you have a lot of people staying at home, like a lot of children are at home, or people are coming in for holidays and all of that. So it is important to track your own business trends and adjust your strategies accordingly. So for entrepreneurs, you have to track and then you have to adapt. Hey Queen, good morning. Thank you so much for coming. I hope you have had a very peaceful night and that you are prepared for a very productive day. Like we are talking today, does the weather influence our productivity? And we are trying to find creative strategies to help us to stay productive in all weather. So for when you are asking as an entrepreneur, what is your most productive season? We are saying it's the season where you adapt to your kind of business, the kind of activity, and the kind of location where you are. So if we are to ask this very question, what is the most productive season for farmers and for gardeners? Like a lot of you are gardeners. What's the most productive season for us as farmers, as gardeners? And we'll also say it depends on the context. In agriculture, the most productive season is typically the one with the most suitable weather and growing conditions for specific crops. So you see, it doesn't in all the different weather conditions that we have, the plants grow, different plants grow better in different weather conditions. And so you still have to know which weather is suitable for what you're growing. Which of the weather is suitable for what you're growing? Hey Ben, you're so welcome. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you're doing fine. It's been a while. I know everyone is busy. I hope you're doing fine. So, for the farmers and the gardeners, you will tell me better. I am a product. All my generations are farmers, and we've been farming forever. Like I say, in Africa and back home, especially in Cameroon, we have two seasons: the rainy season and the dry season. And the rainy season runs generally from March from March to October, and that's the most productive seasons. So we start farming in February. You can just do the clearing. We do the clearing of the farm. It's not like industrial farming, like because everybody is a farmer, because everybody grows what they eat. So the most productive seasons from March to November for many types of crops. But for things like plantains or fruit trees and all of that that grow throughout the seasons, because we don't have winter, so there's no you're not afraid that winter will come and destroy all your plants. So we have the seasons. There are some in some places where you can plant and water the plants like you people do gardening. But when I'm talking about farming, it's large scale farming. It's not a small garden. It's a real farm. We really have farms. We grew coffee, cocoa, and other food crops. So they've classified them under food crops and marketable crops, because the coffee and the cocoa we market them because we don't process them. It's just the raw material. So let's hear what's going on in the chat. Back home in Scotland, it rain all the time, making the greenest country in Europe. However, the food, at least people will stay away from football, or they will play indoor football and do other things. Hi, Tamika. Good morning, Queen. Thank you so much for coming. Superfood parents, thank you so much. Oh my God, Laquita, where have you been? Thank you so much for everything that you're doing. I am also like, I don't know if I'm the one who has been missing or it's you. I hope your family is doing well. My regards to Corey and the kids. I hope you're enjoying the holidays. It's holiday period. That's why I'm doing an early live stream, because the number of people here and the noise, you can't take a live stream during the day. You will see people batting here up and down. Thank you so much. Good morning, living my best life at 60. You are welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you, Roxanne. I hope you are doing fine. I pray you are enjoying your summer. Thank you for everything. Yes, absolutely. We all had full scale farms with enough food to sell the raw materials to other industries, to other countries, not only other industries, because at some point Cameroon was like one of the leading exporters of cocoa and coffee. But what happened is a lot of the prices in the world market fell because it has a lot of work. And so most of the people, like my father, he just cleared down his coffee farm and started concentrating more on food crops, because you have to harvest the coffee, you have to wash it, dry it, and so much work. But how much do you get per kilogram? At the end of the day, people saw that it was not worth the trouble, so they just turned their coffee farms or their cocoa plantations into into farm into food crop farming. So, but like all the plantations that produce banana, we have huge plantations that produce banana, that produce palm oil. And when all those international exports fail, or we're not giving as much money, we are consuming most of those things. And that's why, even though like for the coffee farms and the cocoa farms, people really reduced the cultivation of cocoa and coffee, but they still remain, all the palm tree plantations are still there, because a lot of the time, most of the food that we eat, we cook it with palm oil. And the banana plantations are there because most of the time that we eat all of those. So we are real farmers. It's not a joke. It's not. I mean, like going to the farm, like we go to work, like people to work from 9 to 5. People in my village, they go to the farm. They get up at 6 by 6 in the morning. They are already going to the farm because also the farms are far, and we go on foot. And that's why you see most people in my village, they will not never fall sick because they are so active. But it's a great pleasure. And I'm proud to be the daughter of a farmer. I'm proud to be a farmer, to tell you that I farm. Thank you so much, Queen. I miss you all. Thank you. Living my best life at 60. Thanks, everyone. I am so happy to serve, and it's always a pleasure to have you all because I know my tribe, you have my back. So even if I don't show up like yesterday because I had connection challenges, you are always there when I come up. Thank you so much. I don't take it for granted. Thank you so much. I am so happy, Rakita, when you were here. Thank you, everybody who is here, and I'm really so grateful. I am really so happy because we can always share and really learn from each other. And when we are talking about productivity, we are saying that it depends on the context, and it depends on what activity, it depends on where you are, it depends on what you're doing and where you are. So it's always strategy and creative ways to be productive wherever you are. And when you are trying to be productive, you are finding creative and new ways. And one of the new ways that I'm trying to grow in this channel is I have an online store, and my merch is there. And I really like, here we go. So I have the link in the to the store in the link below this video. Laquita always so serviceable. You can also buy me a coffee. I have all the link here. Thank you for all the support. I really, really thank you first for taking your time to come and always support me. And especially to those of you who don't come live, but who are always supporting, because there is a whole lot of people who want to always be anonymous, who are always so supportive. I am so grateful to you all. And even the people who are not yet part of this community, but who come to watch the replays, thank you. But also become family, and let's continue sharing together. So, when we are really talking about, does the weather influence our productivity, it's just to say that some seasons we are more productive than other seasons. But we stay productive at all seasons because we have found creative ways and strategies to stay productive at all seasons. Hey, Queen, good morning. Thank you so much, beautiful. I am so blessed to have you here. I hope you're doing fine. I hope you really had a peaceful night and that you are starting a very, very blessed and productive day. We are talking about a productivity today, and we are sharing on what are the creative strategies that we can use to stay productive at all seasons, given that there are some seasons where we are more productive than others, simply because, for example, like in the summer, it's too hot, and if you have a lot of outdoor activities, it becomes sometimes challenging to work outdoors. But we are looking at how do we adapt and readjust, and what strategies can we use to be able to stay productive at all seasons. Not as productive like at the same level at like once from one season to the other. Like we will say, our productivity depends on the activity that we are doing. We already said in the context of agriculture, the most productive season is typically the one with the most suitable weather and growing conditions for specific crops. Hey, talking about specific crops, see who we have here. My, oh, my dear cousin, David. David will tell you which season is most productive for him because he is a seasoned he's a seasoned farmer. Remember, I told you that I come from a generation of farmers, and it's a whole generation of cousins and nephews and uncles and aunties who are all farmers. And we are saying that the most productive season is the one in which the weather is suitable to grow specific crops, because different crops grow better in different weather. So we are proud farmers, and we are really carrying our legacy wherever we go. In business, we say productivity can vary based on consumer demand and industry trends. And that's why we said in those who are in the tourism industry, productivity varies most of the time. During spring and summer, they have high seasons, and going to fall, the season starts falling, and then in winter, most people don't travel because of the winter. But I was saying, if you are in Asia or in Africa where we don't have winter, or some parts of Asia have winter, some parts of Africa, if you go to North Africa, they have the winter, but it's not as severe as the winter here in Canada, for example. So all of those things, they depend on the weather, they depend on where you are located, they depend on what kind of activity you are involved in, whether you are an entrepreneur, whether you are a farmer, a gardener, or whatever activity you are involved in, and where you are located will determine in which season you are more productive. We say more productive because, thank you, cousin. We say more productive because we are productive at all seasons, but there are some seasons where we are more productive. And so we are just looking at all of this to find out when are we more productive, which will also help us to adapt and readjust and find creative ways for the seasons that we are not very productive. What can we do during those seasons where we are not very productive? Oh, okay. That's good. You have your namesake. So, does the weather influence our productivity? We have said yes. And it's not us, only us who are saying yes. Studies have been carried out, like scientific studies have been carried out to confirm that the weather has a significant impact on our productivity, showing that when the weather is too hot, or like extreme temperatures, when the weather is too hot or too cold, it can decrease our ability to concentrate and perform tasks efficiently. And the study says during the rainy or cloudy days, this can affect our mood and energy level, leading to decreased motivation. But On rainy and cloudy days when we stay home most of the time, we can increase our focus and creativity, because you are at home and then you are more concentrated. You can find a space to really concentrate and think and become more creative, because now that it's raining out and I can't go out and I have my tasks and I have my targets, what can I do to stay productive? And overall, they're saying, because also on sunny and pleasant weather improves our mood and motivation, but also when it's too hot, the heat can cause fatigue. And that's why they say overall it is important to be aware of how the weather can affect our productivity and make adjustments to our work environment and routine as needed. So what are we saying? Life is all about making adjustments. Making adjustments. Absolutely. So what adjustments are we making? We are making the adjustments depending on our activity, depending on the business we are involved in, and depending on the location. I am so grateful to the 16 million people in this chat. Thank you so much, Sassy. And thank you so much for every one of you, all the 16 million people, and all the additional millions of people that are coming to watch the replay, that are always supporting, liking, sharing, and cheering me up. I greatly appreciate you all. See who is here. My body, Carol. You are so welcome. Thank you so much, beautiful, for coming. We are almost at the end of the live stream, and I am so blessed to have all of you on a morning like this one, having 16 million people coming to cheer you up. I don't take it for granted, and I'm so blessed always. I am so grateful, because you are always there and we are always sharing and caring. Absolutely. We have the reset store, and there's a link below this video, and there are uh, so many nice things for you to check out. Absolutely. So if you can check out the reset store, patronize us, or even share the our merch to your networks, we are always so grateful. So thank you, everyone. Thank you so much, Sassy. It's so beautiful. It's a I concentrated on your I am affirmations, and you know the power of I am affirmations. So thank you, everyone. I love you all, and I always want to remind us, as we go out every day, I am so really blessed for all the 14 million people who are still here. But we have to go, because the noisemakers are already coming. It's going to become so noisy here now. So we are going, and I want to really thank you and wish you a very blessed day. And most especially, to remind you and remind us, we are a work in progress. We are not a failure because we failed at something at some point. We are a work in progress, and there is always room for improvement. And remember, each time you are starting afresh, you are starting with a whole bag of experiences and lessons learned that will help you to take more informed action and act better. Like they say, when you know better, you do better. So You can always reset your life. You can always start a new life. You can always do what your dreams have always been at every time, at every age. It is never too late. And you are never a failure. You are a work in progress. Find that one thing that you are good at and do you, and aim at becoming a better version of you every day. Blessings to you all. Thank you so much. I am always so blessed, and it is an honor to be part of your community. It is an honor to be part of this tribe of people who are building each other up. Love you. You are loved, you are appreciated, and you are celebrated. And thank you all. Have a beautiful day. Absolutely. I know it's it's summer holidays, right? I can tell you that it's not an easy thing to deal with those holiday makers, but we are learning to be loving and caring. So thank you everyone. You have a beautiful day. I love you all. It's always an honor. It's always an honor to have you. I love you. Thank you for everything. See you in these white streets.